In today's video, I will be looking at the most overrated player on Sorare in terms of value, in terms of their capability on the field, in terms of how the price reflects on their scores, and how much utility they have left. I want to go in general about the player and also go on players that could be better for about the same price or less. And starting off, we have a player that many likes. Lionel Messi. He's currently playing at Inter Miami. I hope most of you guys know that. He has a contract until 2025 December. And in terms of his scores, after he has joined, he has been doing very, very well. And I want to say that he has overperformed. And I think, like, what to expect from Messi in the future, I think these scores are more realistic than these ones. This is just my opinion, of course. And in terms of his price, just ridiculous. Like, he's 36 years old. His limited card is worth over 100 euros. And the rare card is worth almost 1,000 euros. If Lionel Messi gets a serious injury, he may never play football again. That risk isn't worth it. And like an example, a replacement, Erling Haaland, for example. And now we talk in rare. I think Erling Haaland is overpriced when it comes to limited. $160, I think that is way too much for Haaland. He's a very decisive base player. But in terms of his rare, like, you could have Erling Haaland in rare that has over a decade with football left. He is one of the best strikers in the world, playing at Manchester City, that scores so many goals and are so dominant in many competitions, Champions League, Premier League, and everything. And do you want to have Lionel Messi over him that maybe have one good year left, maybe two? And I don't know. I watched the game against Uruguay, and he's like Messi. Sorare loves Messi because he gets so good scores. But sometimes you see a player that doesn't do too much, and you think, he's maybe on a 40-pointer, then he gets a 60-pointer out of nowhere. In your perspective, it looks like he doesn't do so much. And I'm not talking about Messi here, just to keep that in mind. But an example of that was against Uruguay. That he's getting a 70-pointer is out of my mind. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I watched that game. Facundo Pellistri did pretty well, actually. That's why I watched the game. And Messi didn't deserve that, but in general, just a very good player, but he's very overpriced in my opinion. And he gets a lot of, five fouls. He loves to go down. But I won't get any Messi fans on me now, so I think I just move on now. But just to clarify, very good player, too old for me and way too expensive for me when you can get the Erling Haaland for the same price. The next one is a player that I've talked very, very brightly about, Timo Werner. And this doesn't feel like to say that he is overpriced. He's coming in at a little over $10 in limited and $100 in rare. Just for me, Timo Werner, I watched him against Manchester United and he didn't look too sharp, and of course he haven't played football for a very, very long time, so you can't expect too much from him. But when I've looked more and more into it, I don't think he will be that nailed. Richarlison will get minutes. Kulusevski will be playing. Heung-min Son will be playing. And we have Maddison, of course. Don't forget him. Brennan Johnson. And in some cases, Heung-min Son will also play up front. Or he will do that, and then Timo Werner will be pushed to the left wing, and there are a lot of competitions around that area. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera just died, but I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. I hope everything is synced now. But my point was that I'm not sure if he's going to get so much game time. And is that price tag worth it then? I think for Manchester United, his price wouldn't have been that high. And I think he would be a more undervalued player, and also, I don't know, against Manchester United, I didn't get convinced. I always love watching Timo Werner. I think at his best he's very good, but he was irregularly getting benched in Leipzig and almost getting no game time. Is it realistic that he will be a so important piece to Postecoglou's game plan? I don't know. He's a very exciting one for the future, and he's way older than I thought. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see. And the next one hurts. Donny van de Beek. Overpriced, yeah. Like, I am so close on selling him myself. I will say this, I want to watch him against Mainz. And by the way, this video is recorded a little bit earlier than when the video is coming out, but I don't think it will matter too much. And now also, before I go any further, I'm hosting my own Sorare tournament, and when this video is live, I think the first couple of games will be played. The tournament started on Friday, when you watch this. But yeah, let's go back to Donny van de Beek, and in terms of his price, it seems fair. 12 euros and 100 in a little under, like 80, 65, 70. Like, he has gone down a lot in rare, which I understand. The point with Van de Beek, he plays cam, he takes some set pieces. He's an interesting player, and I haven't any confidence anymore in him, because I expected to see a player rocking on the field for Frankfurt. In games where I think he should have actually performed way better, against Darmstadt and Leipzig. Both games are away, to be fair, so it will be very interesting to see at home against Mainz. If he does well, I will definitely want to keep him, because he has some very good upcoming fixtures. But if he keeps on playing like this, he won't be that nail player. He is one of the first players that goes off back-to-back games, and that isn't a sign you like to see. And also in terms of his SO5 scores, it isn't good enough, in my opinion. He's 26 years old, and I'm running out of patience with him. He's in my Manchester United collection, so that's why I haven't sold him yet, because I think he gives me that experience bonus. Collection bonus, I mean. And like, just going through his scores, yeah, he was good in his Ajax days, but that was so long ago, and I have made videos about him that I think he will be a good player in the Bundesliga. But he hasn't fitted in right away. It could be a matter of time, but for $100, I think you could do a lot better. For example, you can double the price for Donny van de Beek and go for Alex Garcia, for example. Yeah, like, he's double this price, and looking at his scores, yeah, like, if I were you, I would probably go for him instead. But Donny van de Beek is another very interesting player to look forward to, and yeah, another new transfer, and hopefully he fits in. And we will see against Mainz, very interesting there. And another player, and it's very hard to find overpriced players nowadays on Sorare, because I feel like almost every single player on this platform right now are underpriced, believe it or not. So this video was actually very hard. I think if you want, I could make a video with the most underpriced players on Sorare, because that you need to pick up, because I think that is way much easier, because in terms of the prices, some of these prices are very good. And Mohamed Salah, he isn't overpriced, but he's overpriced in terms of other players you could get. I think Leroy Sané is a better one. He's 31 years old, and I have watched Mohamed Salah, and he is pretty decisive dependent. He is a very good player, as we can see here. He gets a lot of decisives, but like, this injury is very concerning, because like, I think new reports have said that it's way more serious than first anticipated, and it can affect the rest of his career. He's 31 years old, and how many good years does he have left? Sadio Mané, no one expected him to drop off massively after playing at Liverpool. Like, he had some very good seasons, and then it just dropped off, and I'm very concerned that that will happen with Mohamed Salah. Of course, the price is way better. Like in terms of Lionel Messi, I think I would rather pick 2 Mohamed Salahs than 1 Lionel Messi, just put it that way. But still, I think you can do better here. And in terms of examples, as I said, Leroy Sané is a player. And I also think in terms of the fixtures, of course he won't play any of those fixtures. But Leroy Sané playing at Bayern München, he will smash it. Like, you can, if he plays, he will get a good score almost every single time. The same can't be said with Mohamed Salah, although he had have some amazing scores. But some of these scores aren't like comparable to what his actual performance was. I'm sorry. For example, against Manchester United, I don't think he performed that well. Got pretty lucky with that AA, so this score looks very good, but I don't think it reflects the best on his actual performance, if that makes sense. But in general, just a very good player, and every one of these players are very good, but in terms we're talking about the price and what you get on the field. So yeah, moving on, we have Veerman. And yeah, he's an insane scorer. Like, that isn't the thing I'm talking about now. The thing I'm talking about is, if he moves, this card will go down so much in value. In terms of rare, I think the price is pretty fair. In limited, not that's so overpriced. Like, that's insanely overpriced. I think you can get the Kevin De Bruyne for that price. Yeah, you can get a Kevin De Bruyne for that price, and Veerman is a challenger player. Like, for you guys that have a Veerman, you need to just pray that he stays for another half of a year, but if he doesn't go in the summer, I will be very, very surprised. Yeah, he's an insane scorer. Just a little bit too expensive for my liking. I don't like to spend so much money on challenger players. Yeah, like, that is the big downside here. Yeah, so he's seller, yeah. So if he gets a move, it could ruin. Yeah, it could be like, it's the same with Mike Tresor. He was so good at Genk, and then he gets a move to like Burnley, and like like, he gets some of the worst scorers in the platform. Listen, it's so concerning. That's why I don't like to spend much on challenger players, because that haunts me. Like, and the same with Unuachu, the Genk player, top goal scorer, moved to Southampton, was worth nothing. But now, to be fair, he has moved to Trabzonspor or something, and he does pretty well. So we won't talk about those, but that is just an example of what I'm very, very concerned about when it comes to Veerman. But if you know he will stay for another half of a year, it could be worth it. But remember to sell him in advance. I'm currently holding a lot of championship players, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them when they get promoted, but we will see. The next one is a goalkeeper, Donnarumma, one of the most expensive goalkeepers on the platform, 24 years old, PSG goalkeeper. And you know what, I have a gut feeling that he will move to Saudi Arabia, and that could be just me, but I've just a huge gut feeling that he will do it. I don't think he will do it in the near future, but maybe in the summer, or I don't know. But and also in terms of his scores, they aren't too good. Let's just be honest, they aren't too good. Like, let's compare him to Onana. We don't look at Onana's scores. Let's go back. But what I mean, like, he has those high peaks, of course, but PSG are the best team defensively. And I feel like it's so hard to predict when he will get a clean sheet and when he will not get a clean sheet, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, Reims at home, very tough fixture. Milan, very tough fixture, he gets a clean sheet. Yeah, let's go down. Yeah, Dortmund, hard fixture. Marseille, tough fixture, I mean. Also Lens, very tough fixture. He keeps those clean sheets there, and that doesn't, like, that is a little bit concerning for me, because I want a goalkeeper that you can predict when he does bad and when he does well. A 33-pointer against Metz. Like, against Le Havre, he gets a 19-pointer. Oh, that's horrendous. Like, why did he get that? Yeah, he did, yeah, of course. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's so hard to predict when he will do well and when he will do bad. And that is a big downside with those type of goalkeepers. The same with Onana. Getting a 100-pointer against Liverpool, for example, and conceding 3 against Bournemouth. You don't want those goalkeepers. So, and also in terms of the price, way overpriced when you can get goalkeepers like Oblak, Ederson, Alisson for less. I think Alisson is less, if I'm not completely mistaken. Yeah, he's less. Yeah, so like, to be fair, it isn't the worst goalkeeper to have, but I think he's overpriced. And yeah, the last player will be an Arsenal player, Bukayo Saka. And especially in limited, like, way overpriced. I know he's young, but in terms of his latest performances, it haven't been convincing enough for me to actually think this price is fair for a player like him. Yeah, he has some good AA potential, and he isn't in the best rhythm, and like, the price doesn't reflect his performances right now. In terms of the years to come, if you buy Bukayo Saka, you will have a player that plays football for the next decade, and if the Sorare platform is up, which I expect it to be, you will have a very long period to make that money back. But still, like, in terms of his last games, he hasn't those high peaks. Yeah, of course he had it for some, like for a little over a month ago or something. But still, buying in this period could be very risky. And for example, in a 5-0 win against Crystal Palace, he gets no decisives. And also in terms of the fixtures, they are okay, to be fair, but like, you need to remember that you can get a whole starting team which has good potential of hitting you rewards week in and week out, but you will either spend it on Bukayo Saka. If you are on a very high budget, you could do that, but let's be realistic, most of you guys aren't. You can, like, spend that amount of money on a player, and like, if you do it, you need him to perform well, and I don't think he is the kind of player that you should rely on. But yeah, if he gets back to his form, he can be incredible. But also the periods here, he has those down periods, which is something you don't want to see. But yeah, a young prospect, very interesting to see. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the tournament I'm currently hosting if you want to follow that. Unfortunately, you can't enter now. Or you can play the games, but you will be behind everyone else, so it will be hard for you to win cards. But I think I will make a video regarding the leaderboard soon, so if you have already entered, keep that in mind. And yeah, leave in the comments which players do you own in your gallery that are the most overpriced. I would love to hear that. And yeah, thank you, like and subscribe, and I will see you next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.